Work it, make it, do it. Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster. Makes us stronger, more than ever. Hour after hour, work is ever. Let's go. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster. Makes us stronger, more than ever. For those of you that wanna know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on. This is 10% luck, 20% skill.
Contrary to popular belief, body image dissatisfaction is not just a women's problem. In fact, recent studies have shown that approximately 43% of men are dissatisfied and preoccupied with their appearance too. This startling percentage has trebled in the last 25 years alone. Therefore, despite being severely under-recognised, psychiatric disorders such as body dysmorphia and body dissatisfaction have the potential to be equally damaging to men as to women. This documentary will explore the neglected phenomenon of male body dissatisfaction in an attempt to ascertain the causes and potential consequences of the prevalent condition. Furthermore, it will highlight the extreme measures that men are willing to take in pursuit of the perfect body ideal.
Meet Jamie. He loves to gym.
Hey.
Throughout this film, we will talk to him about his quest to achieve his ideal body.
Body dissatisfaction is a subjective concept and can be defined as a person's negative thoughts and feelings about their own body. Frequently, these negative feelings arise as the result of a perceived discrepancy between the subject's own body and the ideal body that they aspire for. Nowadays, the media plays an active role in constructing, reflecting, and reproducing values which permeate society and construct the social reality of the consumer. Therefore, an individual's body image is often affected by media exposure. On a daily basis, we are bombarded with media messages which imply that men should be strong, muscular, and physically superior to women. Furthermore, physical attractiveness is frequently linked to success and happiness. In fact, the media portrays the body as a personal symbol of order. Anyone who fails to conform to the socially constructed ideal is ridiculed and labelled as lazy, greedy, and physically unattractive. In our culture, the ideal male body is steadily becoming more muscular. This is reflected in the physiques of male action figures, which have evolved dramatically over time. Nowadays, their bodies are bigger and more muscular than even the largest bodybuilders. This proves that men are constantly exposed to images of increasingly and often unnaturally muscular males. It is therefore unsurprising that muscle dysmorphia, defined as a preoccupation that they are inadequately muscular, frequently fuels male body dissatisfaction. From a young age, postmodernist gender roles teach boys that muscles equals masculinity. Consequently, the pressure to gain muscle is a greater predictor of body dissatisfaction than the desire to lose weight.
Other than the media, what else motivates males to want to change their bodies?
I was quite fat, I got quite badly bullied at school initially.
Vanity, mainly due to girls.
And I mean, you don't want to be the bloke stuck with the worst rig on the beach.
You're probably wondering what Jamie's part is in all of this. He told us a little bit about his relationship with the gym.
I do 6 sessions a week, so probably about 9 hours. I prioritise it over everything else, like when I sleep, when I eat, etc. goes around the gym, but my academic stuff comes first. There's no place I feel more at home really than the gym, probably because there's no place I'll spend more time. And yeah, obviously I like the aesthetic look that you get from training lots as well. I think external pressures must come into it because otherwise I probably wouldn't spend so much time doing what I do. Initially I think it was very sort of shallow. I thought that looks for everything and I was like, oh, if I can be the most ripped guy around, then I can have any girl that I want, obviously fairly naively. Whereas now, I kind of see being in shape almost like a common courtesy. It's like having good hygiene or good manners. The main motivation is pretty much to compensate for a fairly dismal personality. Okay, so there's a guy called Lazar Angelov. I basically say that he's got kind of the perfect physique and that would be something that I'd love to be able to attain. I try to stay on top of my diet as much as possible. I've been really sort of like strict on my training, my diet, and I kind of hit a plateau, so that's why I've started taking supplements. In terms of protein, I tend to make my own protein shakes rather than buy commercial ones. The only things I buy commercially are creatine, which is just a powder that I dissolve in water and take after a session, and branched-chain amino acids, which I've got in my bowl here, for during a session. I've seen really good results since I have.
Ever felt like no matter what you do, you're not quite strong enough? Need something to give you that edge? Follow the pros and get more from your training. Strength, power, endurance.
The jury is out when it comes to the physical benefits of taking protein supplements. Although Jamie believes he has benefited from their use, some research claims that improvements are simply due to the placebo effect. We spoke to exercise physiologist Rob Cram to get a professional perspective on this.
There's a lot of whey protein that you can buy on the market at the moment, and there's a fair number of different commercially available brands.
So does protein actually make any difference?
A lot of it is a placebo effect. They take the protein because they believe that taking extra protein gives them more of the essential amino acids the body needs. The major downside of protein use is the expense. If you've got a good, well-balanced diet, you shouldn't really need to take on extra amino acids.
So, although protein use alone does not appear to have any drastic side effects, it can act as a gateway for the use of illegal substances that enhance appearance. Rob will tell us more about this later. To an outsider, the drive to stay fit and muscular may appear nothing more than a harmless, albeit time-consuming hobby. However, for some men, there is a turning point at which the desire to regulate their bodies turns into a damaging obsession. After all, men's inclination to develop muscle has been hailed an equivalent to female eating disorders. So when does this turning point occur? Exercising when you are ill or injured is one warning sign. The other is when there is no longer a balance between a man's work, social life and exercise, or when maintaining and improving their body becomes the single most important focus in their lives.
So, has Jamie's habit gone too far?
If I was wanting to train and wasn't able to, I'd probably be fairly frustrated and edgy. So if it's something like tendinitis, then I tend to just pop anti-inflammatories and paracetamol and grit my teeth and get through it.
What's tendinitis?
Overusing your muscles kind of puts a lot of strain on your tendons, which basically then just can lead to tendinitis.
When taken to the extreme, body dissatisfaction may lead to the use of anabolic steroids and other dangerous drugs in a desperate attempt to gain more muscle than is possible by natural means.
It increases RNA activity, so protein building, muscle building. So it allows them to increase their protein building abilities. So they'll end up getting a larger muscle mass because they can train longer and train harder, and they can increase their muscle size. So your testes will start to shrink. You will start to develop female breasts. Another one of the downsides is they're linked to coronary heart disease. So they change the thickness of your arterial walls, for want of a better expression, and you can end up with fatty deposits on your arteries, which can lead to either gangrene, heart attacks, strokes. It can start to impact psychologically on you as well and give you roid rage, make you more aggressive. It can make you paranoid. It can lead to carcinomas, so you can get swelling within the blood vessels because they're regularly injecting there, which can then lead to cancerous growths.
Thanks for the warning, Rob. I'll avoid those in the future. Right, time to wrap things up.
This documentary has explored the social issue of male body dissatisfaction. Despite being a growing problem, it remains an underreported and secret phenomenon. To an outsider, many of the behaviours associated with the problem may appear to reflect the healthy lifestyle championed by contemporary society. However, excessive exercise to mask the feelings and inadequacies associated with body image dissatisfaction is without question unhealthy. Men are under increased social pressure to conform to the muscular, mesomorphic body ideal. The recent increase in anabolic steroid use suggests that this pressure should be a cause of concern. With regards to body dissatisfaction, it seems that men may be where women were 20 years ago.
Power of will, 5% pleasure and 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.